at 7 p.m. in the City Council chambers at 301 South 5th Street will now come to order. We will have invocation by the Reverend Vernon, Highland Drive Church of Christ.
I'll do that first if you'd like. Stand
Thank you,
together.
sir.
Bow our heads. Our Father, we come before you tonight thanking you for the privilege of being in the United States of America and the way of life we have here. And we thank you for government that serves at various levels from national to local. And we come here tonight in local efforts and we ask that we will deliberate together and reach conclusions that are good for people that you care about. It's in your Son's name I ask this. Amen.
And please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance by Mr. Ray Batton of Amvets Post 29.
On behalf of the American veterans, we want to thank you all for inviting us down. So with that, shall we stand and face the flag and give the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Batton. Roll call, Mrs. Young.
Councilwoman Parson. Here. Councilman DeGaris.
Here.
Councilwoman Horton. Councilman Cornman.
Here.
Councilman Black.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Davis.
Here.
Mayor Smith.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Thank you, Mrs. Young. Item 5, disclosure of interest. Any member of the City Council may disclose any possible conflict of interest dealing with either any item on the printed agenda or with any matter discussed at a previous meeting. Seeing none, we will move on to item 6, citizens' input. Each person in the audience may take this opportunity to address the City Council on any matter which is not on the printed agenda. I believe we have Mr. Spencer Jones.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. I've sort of had a slow month, sent 40 youth to camp, buried my brother, so all that consumed a lot of my time. But here's some things I've done since I was here last. I think I met with your human relationship. Okay, I want to make sure I had the right guy. Very pleasant guy, stuff like that. So certainly we had a good meeting. I called the offices of the 2 state representatives. I'm still waiting for a call back from them and from the senator. And I talked to some community leaders. And basically, but it's a slow month, as I said, but do you guys have a report on something, some progress or whatever?
The only thing I have is we are going to have an police officer's position open probably within the next week or so. So
When?
the next week or so we'll probably advertise it. So anybody you can send to us, we appreciate it.
Okay. Okay.
Item 7, workshop items for discussion. The City Council will discuss a request from residents of Barron Road to lower the speed limit.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. This was actually discussed a year ago, and we were supposed to bring it back to workshop and failed to get back on the agenda. What I sent you in your packet is a study that they did last week. The Poplar Bluff Police Department, 2 different days, checking speeds on Barron Road, and I'll just kind of go through that. This is from Lieutenant Keith Hefner to the Chief Whiteley. It says, as requested, we conducted an informal traffic study for speed on Barron Road on Saturday, July 13th, 2019 from 12:55 hours to 13:25 hours. Checked vehicles going eastbound from Barron Road at 14th Street. The fastest speed was 44 miles an hour. Slowest speed was 26 miles an hour. They checked 70 vehicles. Average speed was 34.157 miles per hour. Patrolman Rydens checked vehicles going westbound from Barron near Charlton Lane. Fastest speed was 47, slowest was 20. Average speed was 31.250 miles per hour, and that was 83 vehicles. Additional information that might be beneficial, they were in unstriped Durango vehicle sitting east of the curb so that they could check speeds just as they were able to see them. That was Lieutenant Hefner. Rydens was just over the westbound hill in the Temple Baptist Church lot, so they could not see him until after their speed was checked. Then I have one here from Dave Sutton to Chief Whiteley. As requested, officers with the Poplar Patrol Division performed an informal traffic study on Barron Road. A survey was conducted using radar in 2 separate days. Midday, marked patrol cars were used, but they were parked out of the direct line of sight and no enforcement action was taken. Several hundred vehicles were observed, 153 the first day, 326 the second day, and the average speed for vehicles was calculated at 34 miles per hour both days. The fastest speed recorded was 52 miles an hour. Only one vehicle was clocked over 50. Cursory review of accident reports in our records management system revealed that, on average, our officers work 13 accidents on Barron Road each year. This is less than 2% of total accidents, and Barron Road is 2.6 miles long, making it one of the longer streets in the city limits. Speed is a contributing factor in 2 accidents per year. 3.8 accidents per year on Barron Road involving injured occupants. Found no accidents involving pedestrians on Barron Road in the past 5 years. And there's also a chart attached to what you received showing the east and westbound and the times and the speed limit that was recorded. I know Mr. Stannard is here that brought this up the last time, and I'm sure he'd like to come up and speak on this. I assume he would, so.
Yes, would you have a comment?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, thank you for the opportunity. I guess this is my annual appearance since I was down here
name and address.
exactly 1 year ago tomorrow.
Give us your name and address.
I'm John
please.
Stannard, 1310 Barron Road, Poplar, Bluff, Missouri, United States of America.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that, Ms. Young. And I appreciate the police department's work in this, what appears to be a very careful survey. I'd like to make a couple of comments about it. I noticed that on the first reference, the first page, the time period was 12:55 hours to 13:25 hours. I was in the military. I know what that means, but that'd be 5 minutes to 1 for most of you to 1:25 after lunch, and that's right after the noon rush, which may be, and it was on a Saturday, so there's not that much of a rush anytime on Saturday. So that's not really indicative of the problem I'm concerned with. And I'm not faulting the police department at all when I say this, but I'm stating a fact that would be a very slow period on Barron Road, both volume-wise for the traffic and speed-wise. I'm reasonably sure. But again, I want to thank the officers for doing this. On the second page, those surveys were done midday on 2 separate days, and I don't know what midday means. The critical periods are in the morning from 7:30 to 9, and again in the afternoon from right before 4 o'clock, probably until 6 o'clock. That's when the volume is the greatest, and that's when people are in a hurry trying to get to work or trying to get home from work. And so based on what I just said, I really don't think that this analysis, again, a good analysis, considering the time it was done, but I don't think it's representative of the problem that I addressed a year ago. And I noticed that the length of Barron Road is listed here as 2.6 miles, which technically is probably correct if you turn off where Ketty Lane begins and follow it all the way out to the Missouri State Bank, but that's not what I requested. I was talking about Barron Road and then straight on into Katy Lane to the highway, and that is only 1.6 miles instead of 2.7 or whatever the other was. Anyhow, you all have in front of you my presentation that I updated a little bit this year, and I don't want to belabor you with that at all. What I would like to say, however, is I read the newspaper quite carefully, as you might imagine, having been involved with the paper many years, and I read even the municipal court's reports. I read every word of that. And I would like for you all to note, if you will take the time to read those municipal court reports, how often do you see a speeding violation? And I'd like to know if you ever see one, because I don't. Our police department is an excellent group, and Chief Whiteley is my good personal friend. And I have several really good friends on the department. I'm not talking personalities. I know how busy they are. They do a great job working drugs. And Councilman DeGaris was there for many years, and I think he'll agree with what I'm saying. But we in this town do not have speed enforcement. We don't. Except maybe in rare occasions if somebody really shows out in front of an officer and something like that happens. But routinely, we don't enforce speed. And even if you were to reduce this speed limit on Barron Road, it's not going to do any good until we have enforcement. And I don't know what that is going to take. I know you're always short on officers, but I wanted to make that point. And I appreciate the time up here, and I appreciate your consideration. It's a dangerous situation on Barron Road, and not just for me. I happen to live on a long straight stretch, and immediately east of me is a rise. I can't see over that. And they come over that rise westbound and let it out. And some of these other points where the police did their analysis are coming out of a curve, or they're on a stretch of road that's not as good a pavement as what's in front of my house, or as long a straight stretch. And that's where the speed is. So thank you again. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Have any further discussion?
If the council would like, I can talk to the police department, since this isn't being voted on tonight, and to do a couple more studies on those busy times that Mr. Standard mentioned and see what they come back with.
Do we have a motion to move this on to the voting section of August 17th or 19th?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Item B, the city council will discuss benefits for future employees.
Yes, this item's been tabled several times. It was tabled till this meeting, so it's a date certain, so we don't have to take it off the table. I put it on the workshop session. Councilman Davis stopped by and asked if I could get some information on the cities that I had given you, their benefits, on what they do for retiree insurance, and I laid that in front of you for tonight's meeting. I'll just kind of shortly go through them. Moberly, Missouri, as of July 1st, 2019, city no longer carries retirees on their health plan. Before 2018, they could be carried on the plan, but at retirees' expense. Jackson, Missouri, retirees can remain on the city's plan until they are Medicare eligible for as long as they make the premium payments and administrative fees. Once retirees are ineligible for the insurance, dependents of retirees will not be eligible for coverage. Ozark, Missouri offers no insurance benefits to its retirees. Republic, Missouri offers COBRA for 18 months, which is required by law. Once they go off the insurance, the city pays nothing on that. Farmington is allowed to stay on the insurance, but city contributes nothing. Rolla received no response. Maryville offers COBRA for 18 months, which is required by law, and also the city pays nothing on that. Neosho, no response. Perryville, they have no options for retiree insurance, but it has been brought up for discussion. Cape Girardeau, a little confusing, but employees hired prior to 2007, city paid 100%. Employees hired between 2007 and 2010, city's payment depended on years of service. I think if they had 25 years of service, they paid 100% of retirees' insurance. And then in 2010, they changed it. Employees hired after 2010 are not eligible for retiree insurance other than COBRA that is required by law. Hannibal, Missouri pays 3 years of insurance for retirees. Spouse can stay on the insurance at their own expense. Festus, Missouri pays 100% for retirees who worked full-time for the city for 20-plus years from age 60 to 65. Spouse and dependents would be eligible for COBRA benefits for 18 months. And the person at Republic had actually worked at Springfield, and she said when in 2016, Springfield did away with retiree insurance benefits, and that's Springfield, Missouri. So there's just kind of a synopsis of the cities that I used for comparisons. Basically used a few here in southeast Missouri and tried to match up populations that were similar to Poplar Bluff.
It would appear that by far the majority do not do that, and that do not pay for insurance afterwards. Certainly within the COBRA laws, those are provided. But if I count right, and I may not have, a quick count was 9 out of the 11, when I drop out the no responses, do not do it.
Right. And I think, if you'll see, some of them have made changes, so I think they're kind of in the position we are. We can't afford to do it anymore. So I know one concern the insurance broker has on the dependent care is if we don't allow dependents on the insurance, or if the city doesn't pay for the insurance on the dependents, then that might reduce the number of dependents on there who are usually, at least in the children, or claims are low on those individuals. So there would be less money going into the fund, but there may still be the high claims on the employees and spouses. It's going to take several years for this to even
Begin to really kick in.
And make some difference. So, and I know, people said we can just keep waiting and waiting, but
No,
that doesn't do us any good.
no, never. It never. Then our fiduciary responsibility to take care of the taxpayers' dollars are never met if we take that approach.
Any further discussion? If not, the chair will entertain a motion to move item C to tonight's voting session. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Item C, the City Council will review a recommendation from the Municipal Utilities Advisory Board regarding a Missouri Department of Natural Resources administrative order on consent. Mr. Bob.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. This consent was issued by Missouri Department of Natural Resources. This order states the city will implement a supplemental environmental project in lieu of the monetary fine. This fine stemmed from the delay in the completion of the UV disinfectant log floor removal at the water plant. We got together with the staff, and the project would add a variable frequency drive on the high service pump at the water plant. Benefit will lower electric usage, less wear and tear on equipment, and we estimate the cost for the project to be $13,000. This was discussed at an earlier advisory board. We recommend the approval. Any questions?
Make a motion to pass it to the voting session. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item D, the City Council will review a recommendation from the Planning Department to form a complete count committee to organize local outreach efforts for participation in the 2020 U.S. Census.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We had the pleasure of meeting with a regional representative of the U.S. Census Bureau this past week. And one of the things that they're encouraging communities to do is create these complete count committees that just kind of look for ways to encourage people to complete their census when they get it and to participate in timely response so that they get an accurate count of the number of residents in the city. It will be another meeting for Irene and I to coordinate, and I'm sure that we can recruit some local leaders to participate in that. And I think the biggest thing they wanted is for us to submit a letter just stating that the city is going to create this committee. And like I said, I will be headed that up, and with the assistance of Irene, we'll be taking care of it. So, and I think you have a letter that was prepared that will just need the mayor's signature to submit it to the Census Bureau if you approve it. So.
Sounds good to me. Yes.
Motion is be moved to the voting session tonight.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Action required items. AA, Bill number 8169. The City Council will take action on an ordinance regarding benefits for future employees.
Motion for first reading of Bill 18169.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Counselor.
An ordinance amending the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri Code of City Ordinances, Section 120.640A and B, relating to insurance benefits for employees.
Motion for second reading.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Counselor.
An ordinance amending the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri City Code of City Ordinances, Section 120.640A and B, relating to insurance benefits for employees.
Motion for adoption.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Mrs. Young.
Councilwoman Parson,
Yes.
Councilman DeGaris,
No.
Councilman Cornman,
Yes.
Councilman Black,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
5 yeses, 1 nay. So it passes.
Okay. Bill number 8169 is adopted. Item BB, resolution number 1905. The City Council will take action on a resolution forming the complete count committee to organize local outreach efforts for participation in the 2020 U.S. Census.
Move for the reading of resolution number 1905.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Counselor.
A resolution of the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri, creating and supporting local outreach efforts for the 2020 United States Census.
Motion for second reading of Bill 1905. Excuse me.
For adoption.
Motion for adoption of Resolution 1905.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilman DeGaris.
Yes.
Councilman Cornman.
Yes.
Councilman Black.
Yes.
Councilwoman Parson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Davis.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes. Resolution number 1905 is adopted. Item CC, the City Council of the City of Poplar Bluff will meet in a closed meeting in which they will discuss such matters which are exempted under the Open Meetings Law in Section 610.021.1, .2, .3, .9, .11, .12, .13, and .14 of revised statute of Missouri following city manager's report.
Make a motion we go into closed session.
Second.
Councilwoman Parson.
Yes.
Councilman DeGaris.
Yes.
Councilman Cornman.
Yes.
Councilman Black.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Davis.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes. Mr. Manager.
Just a few things. Good news. Empire Comfort Systems started production today at their facility on South 11th Street. I think they're starting with a small number of employees, but they brought in equipment last week and they've gotten started. Also, you may have read in the paper, New Wave Communications, which is our internet and cable service, are adding 50 new jobs at their facility. They're moving their call center over here. You'll notice they've been doing a lot of renovating the building and adding parking out there. That's good news. Orscheln's will be opening. I saw a sign on their window today, the new building where Kmart was, be opening this Friday. Staff and I are meeting with engineers tomorrow on the new portion of Shelby Road. The gravel between the road and the walkway, people are running off of it and scattering gravel all over the place, and we're trying to come up and see what we could do to correct that.
I'd request, if you can, a look at that, because as you cross the 67 on down W, it's the same problem.
Okay.
So whatever, it just, from 67, the same problem both ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not near as much to deal with that way, but there is a little distance there.
It's creating quite a mess, and we've talked about maybe going in and asphalting that gravel section and putting in the rumble strips like they have on the highway, so if they get close, they'll feel that vibration. But we're going to work on that tomorrow and see what we can get done. So, only other thing is tomorrow's election day, so if people would like to see 67 four-lane finish from here to Arkansas, I guess continue what we started, to please get out and vote tomorrow. So that's all I have for tonight.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? We're adjourned.